All right, guys, we've all got our 2 lines of running stitch in place. So the next job is going to be to work on a little bit of stitch accuracy. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew a whole bunch of X's. Here we go. I'm going to start the way I started before. I've got a knot in my thread and I'm going to pull it up so the knot is just about up to the end. And I'm going to make my first stitch kind of at a diagonal. When I get through here, I'm going to flip over, and once again I'm going to slip through before that knot so that my first stitch will be good and secure. So that's good, that's taken care of. Now I'm going to line up sort of underneath the bottom, the top of that first stitch, sorry, and I'm going to make it into an X. So I'm going to stitch across it and make an X. Now the goal is to have a whole row of them. I'm going to have to, though, stitch from this side, because if I go through the same hole I just came down through, it'll pull my stitch out. So you got to go over and work your way in the opposite direction. So you'll see, sometimes you got to poke around to find the right spot. You want to be as close to the end of the X before as you can make it, and you want to try to make all your X's about the same size. Now, they're not going to be perfect, but the point of this is to practice. So I'm just making my X's. If I miss the spots, no big deal. I just pull my needle back and I find it the next stab or the stab after that. And I make my X's. So remember, I can't come up through right here, because if I do, I'll probably pull out the stitch I just put in. I got to go to the other side and go in the other direction. Now that last one there wasn't super accurate, was it? I should have done a better job there. That's okay. We're all learning here. So guys, when you get to the top of your row X's, I want you to try and stitch all the way to the top. If you find your thread is getting separated a little bit, you might have to slide your fingers down and sort it out. When you get all the way up to the top, you're going to flip it over and it'll have this kind of zigzaggy pattern on the back. And you're going to tie off the same way as before. You're going to go underneath your last stitch. And you're going to go through the loop that you made with it. And I'm going to do that twice, underneath my last stitch and through the loop before I pull it tight. And now there's a good solid knot there. I can snip it off and we're good to go.